Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Hannover Fair of 2023. I hope you're having a great time. So we're here at the Hydrogen and Fuel Cells Europe, and I'm excited to be soon introducing our next speaker. In case you haven't already, take a seat, grab a drink, and you are always welcome to participate in our discussion. So in case you have any questions to our speaker, please just raise your hand and I will bring the microphone to you. We'll be happy to have your opinion here as well. So my name is Mareike Schmalz, and next on stage we'll have the topic of full range of hydrogen refueling stations by technology leader. My guest is the CEO of Resato Hydrogen Technology. Please give a warm welcome to Rob Castien.
Thank you very much.
Have a seat.
So, I can be a couch potato now, huh?
You get the sofa.
Yes, perfect.
So nice to have you here.
Thank you
Hope
very
you're having a
much.
good time.
Yeah, we have a great time. It's very busy at our booth and a lot of people out here. After all those Corona years, it's fantastic to see everybody out here again. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so lovely to see people again, meet face to face, have a discussion. I feel it's really important, particularly regarding the important topics that we're talking about, because it brings the discussion to life. So, Resato Hydrogen Technology. To give a short introduction, there's always this much complaint about bottleneck, that there's a lack of hydrogen infrastructure. So basically we have a chicken-egg dilemma. And the company Resato is here to help us with this, as you build fueling stations. Can you give us some more insights?
Yeah, I sure can. Resato is actually not a very young company. We are more than 30 years old. We're a high-pressure company. We make systems up to 10,000 bars. And in a hydrogen refueling station, there's 1,000 bars. So it's fairly low for us, but still high, of course. But we developed those since 2016, and we have 2 products ready. And so we can, the chicken and the egg, you can choose whether we are the chicken or we are the egg, but we can build the stations, and they work. But maybe a question for the audience. Who came with a hydrogen car today?
Anyone with a hydrogen car in the audience? You did?
Yeah, I came with a hydrogen car. Yeah. So
did?
it's possible today. So I counted very quickly. Let's say there's about 100 people here. If everybody of you would buy one hydrogen car, the amount of hydrogen cars in Germany would go up with 10%.
Wow.
So you can have an impact by getting started.
That's quite impressive to keep that picture in our mind.
So we're the chicken, you can be the egg.
Yeah, so the point that you're mentioning is actually a really valid one. So we don't yet see a lot of hydrogen power cars on the streets. I guess there are several reasons, but yeah, as we talk about the chicken-egg dilemma, refueling stations, that's a big one. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more of what are your products and how do you operate? What are your typical use cases? Who are your clients?
Yes. Okay, so we make hydrogen refueling stations. We make a small one, a starter package. It's 100 kilos a day, and it can be used around the office, I would say, or a building, where you can refuel your car at ease in the office, just like a charger at home. And then we make the bigger stations. We make stations from 1,000 to 3,000 kilograms a day, and that's already quite big stations. And the first one to Germany will be delivered in the next couple of months to Hipion in Neumünster. Will be a 2,000 kilogram per day station for trucks, buses, and cars. And you can go there and basically have a diesel or a gasoline type of experience. A couple of minutes and your car is full, and off you go again. And so it's the technology is all there. And I think if you look at the excitement that you have here around the hydrogen area, it's really great to see that all these technical products are coming. But we need to go faster if we want to save the planet. I'm an old guy, but and I will make it till the end. But one of our marketing people, she's a very young lady, and she needs a planet to live in, and we all need to start working at that. And I think what I said, the technology is all there, but there's a big interest not to go too quickly from the oil industry. If you look at the proven reserves of the oil industry, it's basically something, the oil they own and it's on their balance sheet. It's 165 times the gross domestic product of the Netherlands. And our economy is not as big as Germany, but we're number 15 in the world. So the oil companies have 165 years of the Dutch economy on their balance sheet. They own that. And if we do the energy transition very quickly, they need to write it off. So how motivated do you think they are to change quickly? And how motivated should we all be to save the planet? There is no planet B, huh? There is no planet B. We gotta act now, and the technology is there, so I urge everybody, get going. We have the chicken, you're the eggs. You can have an impact, and your companies can have an impact. And that's, I think, what we all need to be doing.
Wow, what a message. So I want to give the audience the chance to respond to this in case anyone has a question or has an answer. Is there anyone who would like to participate in the discussion or has a question for Rob? Doesn't look like little shy people here, but I definitely do have questions for you. So now you're talking about people in the audience that came here probably by car, hopefully because the train in Germany might not be as reliable these days. Yeah, so do you think the fuel cell and hydrogen is a good solution for individual mobility, for smaller vehicles, or is it more for the heavy-duty vehicles? Is there a niche or even a larger market for battery electric vehicles? Like, what's your personal opinion on that topic?
Yeah, very good question, thank you. I think there is no competition between electric vehicles, battery electric and fuel cell electric vehicles. We need everything. We don't have enough green electrons, we don't have enough green hydrogen. We need everything to do the energy transition. My personal opinion, my rule of thumb is that gasoline will become electric and diesel will become hydrogen. So there's people driving diesel PKW's, personal cars. They will also go to hydrogen because if you drive long distances, you want to refuel quickly. I have a Tesla as well, 8.5 years, and I don't like charging. But it's okay. In many cases, it's okay. But we need everything. But the heavy-duty vehicles, the trucks and the buses, I see them going to hydrogen. It's just too much of a minerals we need for the batteries on the big trucks. They're taking too much weight with them. They don't want to be waiting for the charging. So I can see maybe small distance that the battery electric trucks will be there, but they will be mainly hydrogen. So I really think benzene, gasoline will become electric, diesel will become hydrogen, and there's a place for both.
Yeah, that's a nice answer. I really support that point of view. And maybe we can do the test the other way around. Is anyone in the audience who came here with a battery electric car or maybe a hybrid? Would you raise? Oh, I see a hand. Yeah, at least one person, maybe a few more that are shy. We don't know. We're getting there, I hope.
Well, one of the things we need is German hydrogen cars.
German hydrogen cars.
Yeah, because the Germans drive Germans because they make great cars. And in the Netherlands, we drive everything. Hyundai, Toyota, Dacia, Renault, Fiat, BMW. We drive everything in the Netherlands. But the Germans have a tendency to drive German because they make great cars. So we need German hydrogen cars. So talk to your local dealer and make sure they build more BMWs on hydrogen, etc.
There's someone in the audience who has a question for you.
Okay.
Thank you for your insight. My question is, how are you going to meet the cost of hydrogen? Like, see that to be competed against that gasoline?
Okay, so the question is, how do we get cost competitive with hydrogen, right? Okay, so it's a very good question. And I think there's a two-step answer to that. One step is, of course, we need to scale up. If you scale up, and you can look in the McKinsey reports, etc., that the cost of fuel cells and the cost of hydrogen will come down as we scale up the hydrogen economy with big electrolyzer projects, etc., etc. And the name of the game is scale up. And the predictions are actually that the hydrogen energy will be as low in cost compared to what we have today with fossil fuels. To accelerate that, that's the second part. How can you accelerate it? Because all the technology is here today. There's nothing that stops the energy transition, also in the hydrogen field, but also in other fields. The way we accelerate is very easy. We need policymakers to take money from the bad guys and give it to the good guys. People that are CO2 emissions, they should be taxed for it. And the money that you get there, you put into the, let's say, the hydrogen economy or the energy transition to accelerate it. Because money talks. If we don't do that, and I just explained to you, the oil industry has no interest to change quickly because of their oil reserves. You gotta put the pain there, otherwise they will not change. So scale up, and scale up is done by acceleration, and acceleration is done by policy. Get money from the bad guys, give it to the good guys to save our planet. And it's going to cost money, yes. Otherwise it costs our lives.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. So, to come back to the Netherlands, you've been just talking about. Your company is based in the Netherlands. Do you primarily pursue local projects or do you operate internationally? Can we find your fueling stations in Germany, for example? You already gave a little hint.
Yes, yes. So we're from the Netherlands. I jokingly said we should be the 11th Bunderland, maybe, so we can one day be Weltmeister in football, and not be second all the time. But the Netherlands. So there's two things to the equation here. We are an engineering company in our DNA, and we build stations that work. We've started building that in 2016. They work, but we built them first close to home to make sure everything works. I sometimes call it bleeding edge technology. It doesn't go right the first time. We need to get the child diseases out there to get the stations running. They run, they work. We build stations that work. And now we're ready to export. So we're already building in Germany, in Sweden, in Belgium, and some other countries, Canada. So we have built products and now we are ready to expand. The other side of the equation, we're a Dutch company. We also want to walk the talk. You can talk about sustainability, but we have a zero-emission car fleet, electric or hydrogen. We have 1% of the number of hydrogen cars in the Netherlands is in our company. We have a zero-emission building. We buy local for local, which means that if the price, the quality, delivery is good, we buy in Netherlands. That's more than 50%. If that doesn't work, we buy in the EU. And if that doesn't work, we buy outside. Outside the EU is 2% for us. Nothing from China. And people ask me, are you against China? I said, no, but I'm for the Netherlands. And I think it's very important to build local communities and do that also in our supply chain.
Thank you very much. So it sounds like you're really working diligently on that topic and that you really feel it in your heart, that it is an important one. So we already tackled a little bit of it, but maybe we can bring it open to discussion. Where do you see the biggest challenges to make hydrogen available across the board?
How do we make hydrogen broadly available? I think it's going to be capital intensive to get that going. Like I said earlier, the technology is there, but we need to accelerate it by putting money into it. I already explained where I think we should get the money. Yeah. But I think we need to make steps, and it can be done. A lot of companies can buy hydrogen cars. Like I said earlier, if you talk about mobility, in your company, I'm sure in the bigger companies, let me say the bigger companies, If they operate 1,000 cars in their car fleet, they can easily put in 10, 20 hydrogen cars and get going. And it makes an impact. It makes an impact. It gets people's attention, and you can start making the change. So it's policymakers on the high level side to make the change, but we as an individual should also take responsibility and act by, where possible, get a hydrogen car or get an electric car and do something.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we do have another question from the audience.
When you think about it, the way EVs became popular, really, one company, in fact, Tesla, took the initiative. In fact, they built the infrastructure in the USA, and now EVs in USA and everywhere are popular. I think maybe we need something like that with hydrogen. Maybe some companies stand up and they start building refueling stations, and maybe that's yours.
So we need the Elon Musk for the hydrogen industry, right? Is that what you're saying? All right. So I think it's a very good point. If you look at Elon Musk, you can love him or hate him, but he changed the automotive industry by doing it, because the automotive industry had no vested interest to go to electric. My Tesla is 8.5 years old, 270,000 kilometers on it, and I have no problems. There's the whole workshop model where the dealerships make their money is gone with electrical cars. So, but it was a huge undertaking. It took somebody, an apostle, an evangelist, to start doing that. And I think for hydrogen that's too big, because the infrastructure you need for hydrogen is much bigger than for electrical cars. Electrical cars, electricity is already there. The hydrogen economy needs to be created. The stations need to be created, and the vehicles need to be created. So I think we need conviction and do it. But one company.
It's a super interesting discussion. I'm so sorry.
You can come to our booth.
We're running out of time, but I will soon send Rob off stage. I will send him directly to you, or you can visit him at the booth. By the way, your booth is C41.
Yeah.
Which direction are we looking at? This direction? Okay. So that's the place you need to go when you want to continue this discussion. So we definitely have a man with a big vision here. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Right.
I wish you a great time at the fair and all the best for the future. We count on you.
Thank you very much.